Hi, Majesties. Welcome back. This is serious, very serious, because the AES has said that any aircraft in their airspace without authorization will be blown up. And they've given a final warning to the Nigerian government to stay off their airspace. How did we come to this? That brothers against brothers, at a time like this where we are shouting for unity, the AES nations have understood that Nigeria is not to be trusted. And I'm not going to blame them because if you see the whole situation from when they took over power as military and how they gave the reason why they took over power, how they cut off from ECOWAS, as you understand that the AES have the right to protect their airspace from invaders. Now, this is how it started. In the midst of all this military takeover in Benin, and we got information after some hours that it was a sham, that the military, those guys have been arrested, this has happened, but it was a lie. I don't know whether the mainstream were paid to tell these lies to people. The military did take over, and they were struggling to see how they negotiate with the military. But they told the world that it's just nothing happened. The coup was foiled. While they were letting us know that nothing had happened, they were planning, attack behind with the French government. Okay? They were planning on how they mobilized the ECOWAS army to go deal with the soldiers who agitated for, a military takeover. Okay? And while all this was happening, while France gave the go ahead to the president of Nigeria to deploy fighter jets and troops to Benin, we now heard that a fighter jet lost control into Burkina Faso airspace. But while we got deeper into the situation, the Nigerian government came out and said, see, this very fighter jet wasn't going to Benin even. It was going to a country outside the continent for maintenance. Maintenance. If the fighter jet wasn't going to Benin or has a thought to breach the airspace of the Sahel region, what took that fighter jet to that region? Why not fly through another space, especially when you are aware that you cannot breach their airspace? How did the fighter jet lose control and then do a U-turn into the Burkina Faso space? So the Nigerian government said no. Initially, the thought wasn't to go to Benin even. The thought was to go repair these very fighter jets. That is, we all aware that while this was going on, Nigeria did bomb Benin. And the mainstream media will not tell you that 7 persons were unalived. And I think it might even be more because from the information I got from those who were in there, these are the ones that they confirmed at that time. 7 persons were unalived. So the Nigerian aircraft went into another man's nation and unalived citizens of another sovereign nation. Do you see that we are gradually becoming the enemy of ourselves because we want to befriend foreign bodies? This newfound love or romance between the Nigerian president and his grandson or his son Macron. There's a lot of meaning that are being read into this their situation right now. Now, according to the AES states, okay, that fighter jet didn't lose control. That the pilot in that particular jet knows where he was going. Okay? So it was in their calculated plan to make it look like it just lost control. It was having issues. Majesties. So Macron still truly wants to use this, the little opportunity he has to deal with Burkina Faso so much. There is this particular intimidation that Traore gives to these superior powers, especially Macron. He dealt with Macron to the point where Macron is feeling so intimidated. There was a time that Macron was accusing Traore to be a very small boy who don't understand what's going on around the world. Remember, I brought the information here. Calm down. If you're still with me, I just want to brief you the whole situation as it is, so that we listen to other people's own analysis of the situation and listen to the AES official statement about what did happen. Now, Nigerians are saying, the Nigerian government, let me not say Nigerians because Nigerians do not really support what their president is doing. The Nigerian government is saying that the aircraft lost control because it was going for maintenance outside the continent. And the AES nations and sovereignty is saying that the aircraft didn't lose control, that the pilot know exactly where he was leading the aircraft into. And because the AES intelligence noticed that a fighter jet was in their airspace, they had to use their capacity to bring down the fighter jet. I hope you understand this. There is two sides to this story. The Nigerian government said the aircraft was having issue. They were taking it for repairs, and it lost control into Burkina Bay airspace. And okay, because it had issues, so it came down there. It landed there because it has issues. And the AES sovereignty are saying this aircraft did not land just like that because it has faults. It was in our airspace because the pilot had, piloted it into our airspace. And because we saw that it was a fighter jet and was not authorized, we have to bring it down. AES said they brought down the airspace. Nigerian government said the airspace lost control and came down. Now, something is going on here. For those of you who can think fast and maybe faster than me, I hope you already understand that something is happening. Anyway, let's listen to the official statement from the AES, and then we'll listen to some analysis and we continue.
Communiqué de la Confédération des États du Sahel, AES, relatif à la violation de l'espace aérien confédéral. La Confédération des États du Sahel informe l'opinion qu'un aéronef appartenant à l'armée de l'air de la République fédérale du Nigeria, de type C-130, a été contraint de se poser ce jour 8 décembre 2025 à Bobo Dioulasso, au Burkina Faso, à la suite d'une situation d'urgence en vol, alors qu'il évoluait dans l'espace aérien burkinabé. L'avion militaire avait à son bord 2 membres d'équipage et 9 passagers, tous militaires. Une enquête a été immédiatement ouverte par les services compétents burkinabés et a permis de mettre en évidence l'absence d'autorisation de survol du territoire burkinabé par cet appareil militaire. La Confédération des États du Sahel condamne avec la plus grande fermeté cette violation de son espace aérien et de la souveraineté de ses États membres. Face à cet acte inamical, mené au mépris du droit international et des règles internationales d'aviation civile et ou militaire, les dispositions sont prises pour garantir la sécurité de l'espace aérien confédéral, la souveraineté et l'intégrité territoriale de ses États membres, ainsi que la sécurité des populations de la Confédération AES. À cet égard, et sur instruction des chefs d'État, les défenses aériennes et anti-aériennes de l'espace confédéral mises en alerte maximale, conformément à la déclaration du Collège des chefs d'État, en date du 22 décembre 2024, ont été autorisés à neutraliser tout aéronef qui violerait l'espace confédéral.
So, they've given their warning to those that have ears to hear, that they will neutralize any aircraft that is sighted in their airspace. So this time around, they're not going to just bring it down. They will destroy it right from the airspace. And I think they were even very lenient to have even brought it down and not do anything. According to information, 11 Nigerians are held or detained. Their military personnel are detained in Burkina Faso as we speak. And it's unfortunate that as a brother, you decide to snitch on your brother to just do the bidding of the West. Okay? I don't know what was given to the president of Nigeria to do what he's doing. But he's creating enmity between himself and his brothers who are living around him, or his children even who are living around him. It's unfortunate, but we see ourselves by day drifting so far apart when we are supposed to be uniting and fighting the same enemy. Some fraction are working with the enemy, And some fraction are saying, no, let's unite and fight against this enemy. Because we are not of one mind and one heart, will anything work? This is a fear that most of us have sometimes, especially when we analyze issues like this, and has to do with the continent that we love so much, the continent that you love, the continent that is our mother, your mother, my mother. It's unfortunate that most of the times we are the cause of our problems and we use our hands. These are our hands to destroy that which we should hold dear.
Nigerians, wherever you are all over the world, and the people of Africa at large, let me say this. This Tinubu newly found romance with France and Emmanuel Macron. Let's hope it doesn't lead us as a country, I mean Nigeria, into a place we would not have wanted to be. Because I don't know where this relationship come from. French, we are not of the French colony. And I don't know how Tinubu and Emmanuel Macron became best of friends. Yes, they are both president, but not president of the same scale. You get the point. Francophone countries that are of French colony, they are all running away from France. Majority of them is gone. You get the point now. There are reasons why they are running away. When a child is running away from their father, he simply tells you so many bad things about the father. And it is now Tinubu is imprisoning France. I don't know whatever relationship Tinubu have with France, but whatever it may be, sir, please do it on a personal term. Take Nigeria out of it. Because this embarrassment gets too much by the day. You understand? What on earth was the Nigerian military aircraft and whatever it is looking for at the alliance of the Sahel states? What were they doing there? Now, just imagine the embarrassment now. You've seen the news now. It says Burkina Faso seized Nigerian military aircraft. Did you see it? And have detained, okay, let me just read it exactly as it is. It said Burkina Faso detained 11 Nigerian military officers, seized Air Force C-130 after unauthorized airspace entry. What on earth is Nigerian military and their aircraft doing in the airspace of the Sahel? The alliance of Sahel states, Nigeria, with their alliance, with their romance with France, has described, or should I say, declared themselves as an enemy to those breaking away from France. Yes, that's exactly what it is. The other day, Benin attempted a coup. Perhaps they have their reason. Nigeria went to interfere. Now, you have been caught in Burkina Faso airspace unauthorized. Imagine Nigeria, 11 military men detained in another country. A country that was once referred to as the giant of Africa. How have we gotten here as a people? How have we gotten here? I've read from other sources trying to counter or condemn the act. Burkina Faso is looking for trouble. Hey, they have no right. Says who? They quoted the international law guiding the airspace. They have the right to their airspace, and Nigeria have become a threat to these Sahel states. You get the point now? So there is no way you will see an aircraft of your enemy in your territory and you will not take action. Now let Nigeria go and prove what they were doing there. What were you doing there? A country that cannot fight Boko Haram in their own house. The other day it was Benin, now it's Burkina Faso. Boko Haram is ravaging Nigeria, claiming territory as the day passes. You can't do anything about it. Rather, you giving Nigeria constant embarrassment publicly. You don't go and think of how you will get your soldiers and your aircraft away from Burkina Faso. Shame. What a shame.
Very majesties. And I get some Nigerians who are like, what gave the Burkina soldiers or the AES the right, the impetus, the audacity to arrest Nigerian soldiers and detain them or detain their aircraft? Nigerians, it seems like you still, I don't know what world you're in. You see, the Sahel nation as a sovereignty right now. Burkina Faso is a sovereign nation with a military leader. What do you think gave the right to the Nigerian Air Force to move into an airspace that they are not authorized to move into? Now, the thing is that some Nigerians look down on these Sahel nations, especially because the world tagged them as poor. And of course, we see how they are struggling to revive their economy. And you all feel like, okay, because you are the giant of Africa, you have the right to invade people's privacy or violate rules, regulations, and international laws because they were giant over Africa. Do not forget that these Sahel nations are strong and powerful. They did what your soldiers in the giant of Africa could not or cannot do. See, we have to respect the Sahel leaders. Because you see this revolution in the continent right now, they started it. And for some, Nigerians, especially the younger ones who are asking questions like, who do Burkina Faso think they are to detain Nigerian soldiers? Who do Nigerians think they are to breach the airspace rules that were stated from the beginning? Do not forget that the Sahel leaders are backed by world power as well. So if you think that you have authority, you have the right, they also have the authority, they have the rights. They are backed by Putin. I think sometimes there are things that we shouldn't be saying, but there are times that we need to say most of these things to wake us up from maybe, I don't know if we are delusional or maybe we just living in another world. Burkina Faso have their right to protect their rights. They have the right to protect their rights. And that's exactly what they are doing. The Sahel nation have the right to protect their rights. And that's exactly what they are doing. Yes, France dealt with them, but they are liberating themselves. And like he rightly said from the beginning, you are befriending an enemy of your brother. Can you tell me what that means? My Majesties, Nigeria is befriending France. France is the enemy of the Sahel. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means I do not care about the brotherhood that we share. Okay? It means I'm not your brother anymore. I'm your enemy. And this is exactly what the Sahel complained about initially before they pulled out of ECOWAS. That the ECOWAS leaders are betraying the African people, dining and whining with the enemy of the African people. And this is exactly what we are seeing happening right now. That you are dining and whining with sovereign bodies that their only interest is to exploit the continent of Africa. You are whining and you dining with them. You have betrayed the motherland. You have betrayed the trust that the Sahel have for you. Oh, Nigeria, why are you becoming a tool always used by the enemy to destroy the unity that we are struggling, fighting, and hoping and praying for in the continent of Africa? Why? So, I just felt like I share this with you because they have given the last one. You should be thankful that they did not blow up that plane, that aircraft or fighter jets. You should be grateful. And they have given their last warning. Any aircraft that violates that rule, that trespass their airspace, will be blown down, will be neutralized according to the AES sovereignty. It's high time we begin to respect the AES sovereignty. They have the right to protect their region. Okay, the ECOWAS never protected them. While they were with ECOWAS, they were not protected. And that's why they decided to take their salvation and freedom by their hand. What is the crime that they commit, the Sahel leaders? What crime did they commit? Their only crime is to be sincere with their people. The only crime that the Sahel leaders commit is that they want to be true leaders. They want to protect their sovereignty. They want to protect their nation. They want to be true to those that they are leading. That is the only crime that the Sahel nation committed. And we got the sovereign superior powers still on their back, hunting them in the name of aircraft lost control and went into the airspace of Burkina Faso. What if the Sahel sovereignty never brought down that aircraft? What was their plan initially? And this just an advice to the Sahel leaders. Do not release those people until they tell you the real reason why that aircraft is in their airspace. Because they need to give you an explanation. They need to give you an explanation. Okay? Even the fact that the one who even ordered this intervention in Benin in the first place was the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, and we already know that Macron has a grudge with the Sahel, and we've seen a fighter jet that he authorized to move in the airspace of the AES. This is not coincidence. This is not airspace lose control. This is not airspace, what do you call it? Aircraft lose control. This is not jet going to for maintenance. This is pure subtle plan to do some destruction to Burkina Faso. Remember, there's a lot of project going on in Burkina Faso. What if they say it was out of mistake and we just mistakenly fired that particular chemical that was being, developed? And then they will tell you it's because the aircraft had issues. That's why it happens. But the damage is done already. Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section. I'm going to see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always, Your Majesty.